Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. What is the deal, Pickles? I hope everything is kosher for everybody out there in YouTube land and also over on Twitch. Make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you leave a comment. Most importantly, share the content. Help us turn this plaque into a silver play button. I wouldn't just get one, but every contributor here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network would also get one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rumboyz After Dark, live here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Rocking the GLD. I got my Commander's chain on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we play tomorrow. We will be getting y'all taken care of with a little bit of play-by-play to start off your Saturday. You dig what I'm saying? We are just a couple of weeks away from the NFL regular season. We are about 15-ish days away from the start of college football season. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an action-packed night for you. But first, a word from our sponsors over at GLD. Shop GLD. Get like me. Rock your favorite sports team around your neck. Get iced out with all of your favorite sports teams, even some of your favorite Marvel characters. Let's take them to the yacht. Show them what we got.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, don't turn me on, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, don't want zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring her when you're not.
All righty, welcome back. Let's get into the cast and crew. You already know what we got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, stepping up first to the plate, representing TBQ Sports. Give it up for David Gillespie.
How we doing? Making my triumphant return, bitches. How we doing?
What's good? We ready to set this motherfucker on fire. Up in here, it's burning hot. We on fire. Should it take it up? If it gets too hot, this spot, we on fire. We burn the roof on the Let me stop. Hey, right. Let's keep it rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the other cast member tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for TDX Taco.
What's good, everybody? I got a question for Dave. What color purse do you prefer your quarterback to have?
Dude, your guy is gonna be like a decapitated chicken by week fucking 2 of this season.
All I asked is
not going to go.
I just asked the color. I like the orange. You know what I mean? I just asked what color.
Your guy
in the city of Chicago. If you see a man walking around with a Merce, you walk in the opposite direction. I'll tell you what. Hold on. This isn't even me defending Caleb Williams. Make fun of me for having a bag on my hip. I'm gonna be the motherfucker in the grocery store defending you. I'm just saying. All right.
Taco, your quarterback, every time he's under center, he has a look on his face like someone stuck a pinky up his ass and he wasn't aware of it.
We're gonna talk about his quarterbacks later on.
I did not say anything derogatory about your quarterback. All I simply asked is, what color do you prefer? You know,
Daniel, what's good? Daniel, what's up? Daniel, what is up? Aiden, what's good, bro? Calvin, what is up? He says, yeah, man. Feels like it's been a minute. Think I need to move to Denver, though. For real. We tore it the fuck up. We tore Denver down. Bati, son. Bad boy, rude boy. Well, go on, Lees. all the way up there in the 6. Batman Singh. This man love what he does.
Sound like Colin
Love to see
Hanks.
the energy, bro. I'm bringing the energy.
Or Chet Hanks, I mean. Excuse me, Chet Hanks. I fucked that joke up.
We're bringing the energy for damn sure. Karam, what's good? What's good? You almost said the Yankees lose. What I haven't
The Yankees
I don't really play today.
lose.
I didn't even say anything about baseball at all.
I'll say it. Fuck the Yankees. Who gives a shit about that?
I mean, yeah, no, like fuck the Yankees and fuck Top, but
Yeah,
Coming from a
That's
Cubs
a given.
fan,
That's a given.
coming from a Cubs fan, what does that even mean?
he's
Nope,
even
not a Cubs fan. I'm a Red Sox fan.
He's a Red Sox
And
fan.
we've
Oh
leashed
God,
your
that's
ass.
even worse.
We've leashed that ass.
Like
lately,
how does that geographical fan map look?
Don't be
We're
jealous.
gonna
Don't be
we're
jealous.
just gonna
Don't be
mute
jealous.
Taco here. Ladies and gentlemen, you are here live with the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to share the content if you have not already. Before we get into all the latest, greatest, hottest, fresh off the press topics around the NFL and fantasy football, we do have to make sure that we get ready to get ratchet on this show. All right.
If we haven't already, you know.
It's Friday, right? Everybody got some jobs, employed. Time to
Get
take
it.
some shit off.
Let's get NSFW in this bitch, you know.
Ooh,
We got some shit to do. Hey, listen, cheers to me.
Yeah,
Cheers
let's
to you
talk
all the
about
love boys
Heineken.
and girls. What it do? We are the bad boys of the NFL. Let's get it. No Diddy.
Mm. Good God.
Caught what I said there, and I was like, oh. Let's go and let's get into the first topic of tonight. Football's back.
Mhm.
Well, at least preseason for that matter. Okay. Shouts to those of you that did catch me doing a play-by-play on the stream before. Love and appreciate you guys. Before we get into the preseason games that took place last night and even that are still currently taking place tonight, I want to circle back to training camp. We are starting off with our cover story of the night. And we're starting off with training camp first because this week we had a freaking entertaining look. Like the NFL looked like it was World Star Hip Hop back in 2012. And we're talking about a good old-fashioned scrap. The first week of joint practices, the NFL training camps included 2 teams, Giants and Lions, more namely, getting fined for almost close to $200,000 each for excessive fighting. Now, there's this notion that joint practice sessions obviously maybe only need to last one day.
Mm-hmm.
Should the NFL maybe want to take a look at just one day joint practices for their image? I mean, at the end of the day, fights and joint practices are a part of the game. Let's go ahead and start with you, David.
Should they be just one day? Yeah, I think you can get a feel for the team that you're playing just in one day. There doesn't need to be any. It just gets repetitive at that point. You know, you should really just be trying to get a taste. It would be also
come on, David,
and potentially dangerous. What do you mean?
No Fun League, David. Are we about to call you No Fun League, David, tonight?
No, I'm saying why do it longer than one day? Why?
Why not?
Because you've already gotten a feel from them after one game. Like hold a simulated game, an actual formalized fucking full length game environment, but it's longer than one day. It's redundant after that, and it's possibly to the detriment of the health of the players because this is an opposing team we're talking about here. They could have ulterior motives and shit. Like they don't play by the same fucking rules your team plays.
What
shout out to the fucking Bounty Gate Saints.
All right. That's a little bit extreme.
I'm kind of kidding, but you know what I'm saying, though.
Kind of kidding is also has a little bit of truth to it. You meant that. It's okay. He said I would jab, slip, uppercut Conor McGregor.
Is that what he would say, or he would do that?
I think Sugar Sean said something like that to that effect. It was fucking hilarious. Taco, how do you feel? This involved your team. It was actually your new star rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors with the drive-by slap, if you will.
How about Singletary coming in afterwards, being like, "Oh, I want some too. Don't mess with the rook." I'm like sitting there, low key. I mean, we know what it is. What's good for the goose is what's good for the gander. Like, this got people talking. This got people hyped. You know, this is more like, you know, it's not WWE, but it gives you that like Royal Rumble. Boys going all over the place, having some hardcore emotions coming out. Because, you know, they're capped. They're not able to full go, and they're just getting back into it. So, you know, they're a little chippy. They've been on the couch for a little bit. The wife's been nagging at them for a couple of months.
Mhm.
They want to hit somebody, and they hit people. And I don't think it's bad. And I think if you put in a situation where it's only one day, you know, sometimes you don't get a chance to keep working on a couple of things in a more competitive environment where you don't have to worry about, you know, necessarily traveling each time. Like, you travel one time, you get set up in one room, and you do a couple days there where you can, as the Madden community say, lab a little bit, test out a couple of things, you know, be able to run and for the benefit of both sides.
Out a drive-by punch, Taco.
Well, I mean, that's the heat of the game. Like, you know, there was yap going on if my man does a drive-by punch. You know, there was on the line talking shit.
And neighbors was starting that shit too.
Look, Lord knows what the other guy said for my man to be feeling froggy. You know what I mean? You got to be saying something really out your mouth, but you know how people go. It's early in the season. He's a rookie, and these dudes is feeling themselves. So the Lions is supposed to be like, you know what I mean, top shelf. The Giants are sitting back here like, you know, what is it? A Taylor roll? A pork roll? You know what I mean?
Wow.
We pork rolls out here.
I'm just surprised
with you.
I'm just surprised that the fight didn't involved Kirby Joseph and not CJ Gardner Johnson talking.
How about DJ jumping in there? Daniel Jones throwing down a little bit.
So I love that Brian Burns was like, yeah, I'm going to need him to never do that again. For those that may or may not know what we are talking about, take a look. Let's go. Let's go.
I love that they're throwing punches, but they got plastic fucking helmets on with metal on it too.
This is football, David. I'll explain in a minute. I want to watch it one more time.
The most someone's getting is a minor fucking headache in that situation.
I have to say, I love those fucking helmets.
No, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to go on record and I'm going to fucking explain it. All right. The adrenaline, ladies and gentlemen, when you are in the middle of the dog days of August, when it is hot as fucking hell.
Yeah, it is very hot.
When for the last couple of weeks, all you have done is competed against teammates that you have. You see these fuckers every day, okay? You can't really hit each other. You're kind of, hey, you know, take this off. Yada, yada, yada. You may get a little chippy here and there in practice with your teammate. But ladies and gentlemen at home, I tell you, there is nothing better than when you finally see an op. When you finally see someone in the opposite colors, in a different colored uniform than yourself, and all of you are competing for a spot on the team, all of you are trying to compete for a spot on the team, gentlemen, it's going to get chippy. It's going to get ugly out there. It's hot. I have pads on. I got gold bond up my fucking ass crack till tomorrow. Like, my feet fucking stink because I've been wearing the same goddamn cleats and haven't gotten to change the insoles and fucking God knows when. The gloves that I'm wearing smell. I'm going to be angry and I'm going to want to hit someone.
Sounds like you need better equipment.
It sounds like you've never put on a fucking pair of pads. And until you do, shh.
You made it sound nasty.
It is nasty. It is, Taco. This is football. What do you want me to do? You want me to it's not pretty.
He's like, I haven't changed my insoles.
Taco's gonna be the one guy where there's a fight and all you hear are expletives, and then you just hear him go, ugh! You know, just
it's going to get chippy. What I love about this, and I'm saying this even as a Commanders fan. All right, you guys know me. I've gone on record before in the past. Hey, I want everyone to be happy. I want to be competitive as possible. It makes for the best TV possible. As long as we have the best TV possible, we have the best football possible. We get to give you the best damn content possible. And in order for us to do that, sometimes these things gotta happen. We need teams to be competitive. We need teams to find a leader. The Giants lost a leader. And when I look at this clip here, it looks like to me that they may have found a replacement leader who's not named Saquon Barkley, but Malik Neighbors. See that? He just
I don't know if that exudes leadership, but
I would
it does. You know what? They needed moxie. Everyone's on social media laughing.
I don't know if that's moxie.
Yeah.
Everyone on social media has been laughing at them over Hard Knocks. They've been the laughing stock of the NFL throughout the duration of the offseason. Everyone has questioned them at every single turn. And you know what? Malik Neighbors says, nah, fuck you. Take this. All right, we're here. We're here to play fucking football. We're ready to start the fucking preseason of week 1 off.
But he didn't even catch a ball in the preseason yet. Like I don't know.
Whoa. Drew Lock was throwing him the ball.
I know. I'm not saying you played bad. I'm not saying bad.
David, Taco, let me reel you guys back. This is why we need Mike here. Shout out to Mike for being at the Fantasy Football Expo. Shout out to everyone at the Fantasy Football Expo. Hold on now. Hold on. Simmer down now. Simmer down. We are only focusing on this topic.
Well,
now, on the flip side.
That's why I say that.
Now, on the flip side, it is fair. $200K fine for the teams. And here's why I say this. The players aren't getting fined. They're in training camp. This doesn't happen in a game. So if I'm a player, if I'm a league name, yeah, I'm getting away with this drive-by punch right now because you're getting fined, not me. Mara family, pay the tab. So, hey, let it fly. Do I think that there needs to be one day? No. Listen, this is football, ladies and gentlemen. This happens at every single level of football. Yeah, your Pee-wee programs, your Pop Warner programs. Little badass kids are also fighting each other too. It's part of the game. It's a man's game. In the words of Ray Lewis, this is not for the weak. This is not for the faint-hearted. Blows are going to be thrown, especially in a situation where people are trying to put food on the table for their families. And big ups to the teams for picking up the fucking tab when it happens. And shout out to the guys that make themselves stand out. Case in point, Mike Tomlin letting his guys fight. You see every single clip of every time the Steelers fight, Mike Tomlin just sits there. All right, now break it up. It's a part of it, and that's how you build a winning culture. That's how you build a team.
I mean, the thing, though, with that is the Steelers don't get into a ton of fights on training camp. The line, I mean,
Russell Wilson and
the fucking name right.
They get into a bunch of fights. The Steelers are known for their training camp fights.
No, not like to get multiple fights already in the first couple fucking weeks of the training camp, like the Giants have. That's not the Steelers.
I know this. Like 3 this week.
The Steelers 3 this week. And we'll see how this goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm not saying it's a recipe for disaster, but I'm saying that more often than not, you don't want to be getting into numerous fights. And I could say that as an example for my favorite team, the Chicago Bears, especially in 2014, where we were noticeably getting into chippy fights. all the while getting a ton of hype that season for being a potential playoff contender. I mean, hell, Michael Irvin was calling Jay Cutler a future MVP that year.
So the infighting isn't good. When it's y'all becoming a team and fighting that other fucking team, fuck yeah. We just came together, fellas. We just came together, boys. When the regular season comes, we know that we're gonna ride. We know that we're gonna die. These are the guys I'm gonna go to battle with.
But that's the thing. I don't need the Giants don't look like a team that's gonna ride. No one is hyping them up.
Daniel Jones getting in there shows me something different.
They're not. You think they're going to win because they got into a fight? You think they're going to win the division?
They're going to have better team chemistry. I don't think they're going to win, but I think that they're going to be like, you know what, we're in this bitch together.
Maybe not division, but the wild card.
Okay. Yeah, sure. The
wild card is possible.
I don't think that's. I would be absolutely shocked if you guys even reach 7 wins this year. You guys are an absolute dumpster fire this year. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying I could see you guys easily being the worst team in the league this year.
For the record,
right? Oh my
gosh, this has been said before, and we made the playoffs. So
no, I didn't. Back in 2021, or sorry, 2022. No, I didn't think that.
Come on, Daniel Jones was coming off a shitty year. They were pretty meh.
I wasn't one of them.
We're gonna see Leafs. I think that we're gonna see a lot of neighbors crash outs this season, and it's gonna be because they suck. Look, I think that this team they came together. Hopefully, it's not going to hold them together enough to win, but I think that hey, they've established hey, we're in this together. I got your back. Let's go out there. Let's go out the field and then let's ride.
Can we all at least agree they'll have a better record than the Commanders?
No.
Fuck.
But I think the Commanders will suck ass too. For if you want,
All right. I'll take that on the record.
You're the only person saying that.
What? No, I'm not. My whole fucking team even said that too.
I heard Daniels is struggling.
No, I'm not.
I don't know.
The only person.
Why would I
don't know how good they're going to be this year.
Why would I hype them up?
So we are going to get in, Taco. We are going to get into a topic
on, Robbie.
That here in a minute. Actually, we'll just dive into it right now. Have you guys seen this phenomenon? This has never, ever fucking happened in I will say the social media era, because this for sure has never happened in the NFL era.
Ooh.
Are you seeing this new thing that's taking place this year of training camp stats?
Training camp? I think that shit's corny as fuck.
It's stupid as fuck. It's the dumbest thing.
Who gives it? These guys you play these guys every day.
Well, not only
cares
that,
about your stats. Well, but you familiarize with their skill sets. So that's why that's why the stats are thrown out the way.
David, give me a sec. Let me preference. Let me drive the fuck up.
All right, go ahead.
So there's this new phenomenon going around training camp stats, and every day it is the most insane, astronomical bullshit ever. Before I let the panel go, we'll start with Taco because this is going to be his take, because you got first topic, David. Let's keep in mind that in practice, scenarios are certain scenarios, many scenarios are rehearsed. And these training camp stats are coming from people that are sitting in stands. They're not actual people. They're not actual. It's not fucking Dan Orlovsky that's coming out with this information or that's putting these things out. Taco, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think of it from a standpoint of even when you go to the gym, a lot of people measure their reps, measure their progression as a natural way for you to go against your own self and see if there's consistent growth. Because maybe you're performing one way today, but we want to see improvement. And over your, let's just say 4 weeks, as we document you, because nothing that doesn't get measured can't be grown. So
how is there consistent growth if we're rehearsing a pick six in pursuit angles?
I mean, what stats are we looking at here? Maybe we're looking at the angles and the speed of the receivers, how quickly they're able to
Those
chase
stats
things
aren't
down.
being measured. Those aren't the things that are being published, Taco.
Okay, so
We're getting
so then in
things
that
like
case, then they're not taking stats.
we're getting things like Malik Neighbors 17 for 20. Who the fuck is getting targeted 20 times in a fucking game? Like what? What?
And it's not even
that's just
scrimmages, right?
arbitrary. That's just someone that's sitting there and watching him play. Say, okay, he had 20 attempts and he made 17
This
catches.
is what we're talking about. We're not getting things like Xavier Worthy ran 22 miles per hour on a night. We're not getting those. Stick to the topics. Don't go outside of the
on this basic stuff. Again, it's the same thing. It's just seeing what's his percentage. Is he able to? He caught 17 of 20 catches, right? And then you just do that over his training camp, and you're sitting there looking back at it, and you say, "Okay, cool." And then you're probably measuring it and saying, "What's contested catches?" Right? And you could say, "Well, Neighbors in contested catches was really good in our stuff. Let's put him in these situations in preseason games because based on our data, we have something to go off of."
Break down. Have you?
I mean, there has to be a reason why every NFL team is doing this, right?
Gone to practice? Like, have you gone to a practice?
Have I gone to a practice? No, I have not gone to a practice. But I'm seeing.
I have.
So have you gone to a Giants practice? Have you gone to a Giants?
I haven't gone to any practice. No practice. I haven't been to practice.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, what does it hurt? What does it hurt?
What it hurts is that you're for people like you. I did not mean to fucking do it like this. For people like you that don't, it's a discredit to people that are actually football people. So like people that actually have played football, we look at that and we're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But is there not more?
Stop. Because even for us that are in the practice, we're not looking at it like that. It's not a stat thing for us to we're going through reps. We're getting the things that we're focused on is getting the tree down, is making sure our toes are in bounds, making sure our hands are frame perfect. When you have some nobody, and I'm not saying like everyone's somebody, but like when you have Joe Schmo up there, oh, well, I just watched Malik Neighbors catch 17 balls out of 20, and there's no premise behind that. When it's like, okay, is that just being thrown back and forth to? Is this counting the jugs machine? Is that in coverage? Is he being covered? Is this just in shorts and pads? Is this a one-on-one? It's people just taking things. It's okay, well, what about the 3 catches that he didn't catch? Was that meant for the DB to learn about breaking up a catch and how to break up a catch? It fucks up the actual like reporting and analytics side, and also takes away from the integrity because now you see more flaws in stats and reporting because you're going to get people like you that are going to be like, well, Malik Neighbors was 17 for 20 in fucking training camp. I don't know what's going on in the season. Bro, those are campus rehearsal. It's
Hey, can I ask a question? Has Taco said that he's putting those he's putting those numbers up like it's the gospel he believes in? Because I don't think he has. So I don't know why you're saying that if he hasn't done that.
It's essentially you're trying to go apples to oranges.
I mean, all you're doing is counting the stats of the reps. Like I said, like when you're at the gym.
if the information's posted,
There's-
so fucking what? He's not saying like, oh, this is like my Bible of like how I critique NFL players. Like he's not saying that. I don't think that's what he's saying.
What are your thoughts on it? Because I feel like you may have I'm hoping that there's a better pulse.
No, what I'm saying is I don't value those numbers either. I think those are horseshit numbers. I don't pay much credence to or give much credence to those who are posting it and trying to treat it like it's the fucking gospel truth. I think honestly, in the big picture of things, I think honestly, we're really struggling to marry statistical analysis, analytics, and all that shit with film study well. It seems like we're divided on one side. It's almost like politics at this point. It's like one fucking side's this way, another side's on the other fucking side of it, And we need to find a way to come into some common ground and marry these two concepts together in the best way possible so we can analyze the game at a much more elite in executionary level, And so I think that's where I'm really frustrated with. But stuff like that, if you post 17 for 20 or whatever, it's so situational. I've been to NFL practices like that, actual NFL practices over in Renton, Washington for the Seahawks and stuff. I know that it's the whole thing's not a fucking scrimmage. This isn't like fucking any given Sunday 24/7 out there. Okay?
No, there's no full speed. It's like, no, yeah.
Sometimes there's scrimmaging and stuff, but it's again, you don't touch the quarterback and shit like that. There's all these other factors and variables that come into play. So you really need, if you're going to post some shit out there like that, honestly, if you're going to try to bolster that point with the 17 for 20, you better supplement it with some damn good fucking tape, to go along with it, to showcase that this guy's really making strides and he's really going to make an impact on the season.
There was one that was like Jaden Daniels was 7 for 15. I was like, but then you see he throws a deep touchdown pass. So there's like multiple deep touchdown passes in that same thing. It's very, I don't think that it's necessarily, I agree with, the whole, I always agree with like we're always going to be in a never ending battle of film versus analytics.
Yeah.
I think that this is just one of those things to where people that are just sitting up there that don't know what they are looking at need to stop.
Yeah.
Because it's gotten so bad to where these things are now reaching other it's now reaching like NFL minds. And you don't want something like that poisoning the art of journalism and what we actually do.
And luckily
it's not painting a clear picture. It's not.
Again, you don't even know the depth of the stats. So he could be saying in reference to it, but meanwhile they're analyzing contested catches or certain particular routes. We don't know. There's a lot of ambiguity in that context.
Here's the thing. In this profession, if you're doing that, you're going to say this percentage was against contested catches. This is
man
what
coverage. Yeah,
exactly. Look,
also the age of social media. Everybody's trying to get attention. So if you leave it more ambiguous like that, you're going to get more attention like this.
So now you're making an excuse for lazy work.
I'm not making an excuse for lazy work. I'm just saying what we're doing.
That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it. They're at camp and they're taking notes and they're listening to what the one coach says and aiming on that number.
This is why I'm saying it is something at this stage of where we are at. Leave it just completely out. It's never been brought up ever fucking before. This is the first year ever anyone's ever started doing it.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Stop. Stop. It's painting a really weird picture out of training camp. I do appreciate a lot of the old school, the old guard that are, to David's point, bringing out, the clips and things of that nature and are actually taking us behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You want a really clear picture of what's happening in training camp.
And
just leave NFL insiders on in the background.
And furthermore, to bolster the point of why they're so useless, we don't know if they're posting it those stats in regards to, are these scrimmage numbers? Are these scrimmage numbers with other teams? Are these just one-on-one drills, which are even more fucking useless?
Yep.
And I think Taco is agreeing. Like, I think we're all in agreement here. I don't think Taco was trying to take the devil's advocate side of this. I think he was saying it was stupid as shit too. It's just that he is like, this is why they're doing it. It's not a good reason, but this is why they're doing it, you know?
To me, it's bullshit, lazy journalism.
It is.
There's just no place for it. There's just no. I don't see the place for it.
Plus, I mean, going up against your own fucking teammate who you play every day, like, you guys are gonna figure out your styles pretty quickly. So even if you dominate your teammate, I don't fucking give a shit. How are you going to do up against the guy, the stranger that's playing for the Texans on the opposite side in week 3? That's what I give a shit about. You know,
my favorite comment comes from Bill Parcells, where he said in a training camp in a post training camp press conference, where he was like, the defense is going to have some days, guys.
Yeah,
offense is going to have some days. He's like, can you stop? He's like, we're in practice. He was like, the defense is supposed to have days where it looks good.
Yeah.
It's
what you ideally want are battles, and legitimate battles at high athleticism, at high execution, at high IQ, everything. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see it being lopsided.
No. Both. And even in joint practices, I know we talk about the fighting and stuff. Both sides and both coaches of both sides are already walking into that practice with understanding, hey, I'm trying to figure out how I can trim here. Hey, I'm trying to figure out how I can trim the fat here. Hey, you know, there's a mutual respect.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Were you about to say, Taco?
Nah, man. I think we hit this one up.
Yeah.
I want to get into last night's preseason games. All right, we did have football last night. I can't believe I am able to say that on a Friday. Like, we're usually, when I say that sentence, we have like regular season Thursday before. Like, holy fuck. Yeah. Keeping it on the Lions and Giants, we saw Neighbors play 12 snaps and get 0 targets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We saw Drew Lock go 4 for 10 and 17 yards and a pick. The question arises after seeing the sample size of New York is, how different does this offense look under how different would this offense have looked under DJ? And did it feel like maybe we've already seen this version of the Giants before?
That's such a mean hype poster for Malik Neighbors. 9 snaps, 0 targets. You know, like, what the fuck? That's so mean.
You know. Oh, it's you, David? Right?
It's David.
Was it me? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize it was me. So I think, okay. Just to get into this with the Giants. Best case scenario, the Giants become the Real Housewives of New Jersey this fucking upcoming season. I'm talking chain snatching, you know, mimosa throwing, like, I mean, kneecapping, you know, with a fucking helmet or some shit. Like, that type of shit's going to happen, okay? Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, it's like Lord of the fucking Flies. Everything's on fire, and there's hostage negotiation involving the FBI, okay? It's going to be bad this year for the Giants. I'm just being real. I'm sorry. I know it hurts, Taco. You know I love you. But the truth hurts sometimes, you know? It's going to be a rough season, okay? I didn't see much to change my thought process yesterday. Now, I didn't watch the whole game because I was working last night. But based on the film that I got to watch, you know, some of the notable, I think you guys hear me now? Am I losing you?
You're good.
Okay, good.
We never lost you.
Okay, it seemed like it was staticky on my end, so I just want to make sure. So anyways, I was not impressed, man. And I think this is an offense that has struggled to find an identity. Now, I like Malik Neighbors a lot. I think I have high expectations for him. no matter who the quarterback is. I think he will make a decent imprint this year. He could reach 1,000 yards. He's not going to win a triple crown or anything like that. It's not going to be crazy. It's not going to be historic this year, probably. And it's unfortunate because he's a truly special, potentially all-time great wide receiver when it'll all be said and done, you know? But the offense needs to invoke more motion. They need to invoke more pick plays. They need to invoke more, switch type of situations to where guys can schematically get open. Okay. And I just don't see that. I don't see them utilizing creative play calling. I saw them dabble a little bit with mesh yesterday, and I thought that was nice to see, but I want more of that if I'm the Giants team, honestly, because I don't believe really outside of Neighbors and a few other slick guys, best case scenario, and that's even stretching it, you know, that they're going to be able to function well without some creative play calling, you know? My most notable thing was not the quarterbacks. I thought that was kind of forgettable, honestly. I didn't really give a shit out of what I saw from the quarterback play. I thought who looked really nice yesterday, just from an intuition perspective, was Eric Gray out of the backfield. I thought his cuts, his timing, that was really nice to see. And he could be a dark horse candidate to start for the running backs when it's all said and done, even over a veteran like a Devin Singletary. No disrespect to Devin Singletary, but Eric Gray, he's also coming from a university. I know he's, been in the league for the last couple of years, but he's coming from a university that's known for churning out quality running backs and, out of the University of Oklahoma, I believe this is a guy that could end up doing some good things if you set him up in a just at least a decent type of situation, because I'm paranoid about this offensive line. I think it looks like absolute shit right now outside of Andrew Thomas.
Okay. No, I agree with your take, especially on Gray. One of the things that I did notice was
boy Jeff.
A lot. It was very much reminiscent of a version of the Giants that I saw before without Saquon. That backfield still being heavily utilized. The backfield led every fucking thing, even in the passing game. Like you said, David, they got to find ways to get guys open. Yeah. There was at least 2 plays that I had called on last night's broadcast where Malik Neighbors was wide the fuck open, had the separation, everything. One was an overthrow, one was a curl route, and just completely misread. And then, to Jeff's comment, that's how I feel about.
I'm sorry, he's forgettable. I'm sorry,
and like I said on last night's broadcast, Sacco, you were in the chat even when I gave the analysis. That exact same play that Locke threw the pick. I've seen Daniel Jones make that exact same read, throw that exact same interception. So I personally, as an evaluator, don't know if this is going to look any better. Taco.
I can't hear you, Taco.
You say can't look any better, but it was still 14-3. Like, it was pretty much a domination throughout. Now I'm saying it's not anything that matters. It's a basic playoff game. But what I will say is that the defense looked like it was able to get pressure. Okay. Like you said about the running game looking, interesting. I think it comes down to this is exactly what you're talking about in training camp. These are useless numbers. Like, how many snaps was he on where, like you said, you just overthrown and not even in the vicinity? Let Daniel Jones come out. Daniel Jones is getting paid, $40 million a year. Drew Lock is not. Okay. Daniel Jones took this team to a playoff. Drew Lock has not. Okay.
You said that Drew Lock was going to be the starter, though.
I did say Drew Lock was going to be the starter coming in. I thought we had momentum and motion going that way.
And these numbers actually do matter because they're playing at game speed.
After seeing Lock, though, and that little injury that he had, man, my boy might be cooked real quick because Tommy Cutlets ain't giving up. Tommy Cutlets didn't look bad.
I think he could be like that. That's the one guy I think could circumvent Daniel Jones in the depth chart.
Yeah. And Tommy Cutlets didn't have Neighbors with him, right? I don't think he did because that was what. So let's see what happens when you get, because Cutlets came in and was winning some games versus some quarter. He beat the
Yeah.
Packers that one. Like, you know what I mean?
Did.
And he like made plays. So
He looked good.
I don't think that we're like. It's interesting. Like this team is very interesting, and Dable has he has the heart of a fighter. So that's this team. We're fucking scrappy. We shouldn't have had as many wins as we had. But it's gonna be interesting. And you know, for as bad as people say Daniel Jones is, all his numbers are equal to Trevor Lawrence. You know, so everyone can talk so great about Sunshine, but Sunshine don't have no playoff wins. Daniel Jones got a playoff win. So, you know, Daniel Jones went out on a big game and made some big throws and delivered. I've yet to see Trevor Lawrence win one playoff game.
The fact that you had to dance,
he beat the Chargers.
Not gonna say that. Not gonna say that. I pull that back.
The fact that you had to dance around and try and someone who's not even on the show sheet, like we're talking about you. We're talking about your team.
Yeah.
No one else.
Daniel Jones didn't play. I'm just saying Daniel Jones didn't play.
Taco, you're spinning this shit though, dude. You're spinning this shit big time. Because you're forgetting now. Daniel Jones, I fully acknowledge, had a good rookie year. You know, when all things considered, he had a good rookie year. The thing is, dude, he's been trending fucking downward since.
No, because he had the playoff year. Then he had the playoff year.
Even then, he was a fucking game manager. The only
he won that game. He won that playoff game. That's what got him the money.
Best game
in the playoffs versus Kirk Cousins. He faced the game manager and beat him.
Stop.
You cannot take away his playoff win.
I'm going to stop you right now.
One game.
Look, the fact that you even brought up the fact that it was 14-3, the fact that you even brought up the fact that it was 14-3, that it was something relevant. It was 14-3 because Tommy Cutlets came in against a fucking second and third string defense.
Yeah, dude, the preseason, the equivalent
to the preseason
is like your peewee baseball coach saying, go out and stand in right field and hold up your fucking glove in the air. That's the strategy they're coming in to the preseason with. But
I think Dave said this great. Either Daniel Jones is going to be a hit like we all hope for over here in New York, or if not, Tommy Cutlets is going to have his chance to really make himself into a household name and be able to have a section in the Italian department of every deli for Tommy fucking Cutlets as he game manages ourselves to 8 wins. We have a great defensive line.
One thing that I'll finally add, one thing that I will finally add here is that there are still definitely depth concerns. The Giants defense did look well. It did not look good enough because injuries are going to happen. It did not look good enough to where it is going to full on win them games to go above 500, I believe. It's a very fucked up situation in New York. I think that New York is under the impression next year they're going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, and I think that's almost a foregone fucking conclusion.
It's a foregone fucking conclusion. Exactly.
Daniel Jones does it again.
Exactly. The Giants are a dumpster fire from the head down. The GM is an idiot. The QB is inept. Congrats. You have 3 redeeming qualities: a good young wide receiver, a great mastermind as a head coach, and a defense with a bad defensive coordinator.
Look, no, the reason you guys went to the playoffs in 2022 was because of Saquon Barkley. It was not because of a quarterback who looks like they spiked his gator with a bunch of fucking Quaaludes every time he's under pocket.
I mean,
he's not
he was running.
Good.
He's
panicky. He's not comfortable in the pocket.
Wasn't that bad?
Like I said, that is my takeaway. That is my takeaway is the fact that when I saw Locke throw that, aside from his name being on the back of the jersey and the number, when I saw mechanics and everything, I saw fucking Daniel Jones. I was like, oh, shit.
I don't know what the hell you've been smoking, but it was still Locke. Daniel Jones is his own man.
Daniel Jones throws
such a fucking glass half full.
Daniel Jones throws that pick. Daniel Jones throws that exact same pick 9 times out of 10.
Oh, God.
Y'all are in fucking trouble.
You are insufferably glass half full. You know that? You are insufferably glass half full by your fucking team.
I'm with the Commander fan and the Bears fan.
We did have another game last night, and I do want to now turn our attention over towards the New England Patriots, okay? In these 2 matchups that took place last night, I don't really care about the Lions side of it. Hunter Hooker, Everyone give a thumbs up for Herman Hooker. Hope you come back from the concussion.
Look good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Panthers have no depth, so there's no point in talking about how boring they look. We now turn our attention to the New England Patriots, and they played their whole stable of quarterbacks. All right. May and Milton look good. There's definitely gotta be there's definitely gotta be talent that has to be cut. It's a very hard decision. That wide receiver room is fucking deep. Juju was released this morning by Juju. Thoughts on the Mayo era after last night? Anything special stand out to you? Do we have a serious quarterback battle going on here? Because my gosh.
The Patriots?
Yeah.
Hell no. This is Drake May's team. They know that. No, Milton, as good as he looked, he did look really good, especially with his escapability.
Amazing.
He looked good, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. This is like I said, it's a vanilla ass strategy. It's pee-wee fucking baseball type of mindset coming into this shit. No one gives a fuck. No one really gives a fuck in week 1 of the preseason. Okay, everything's basic ass bullshit. Joe Milton look really nice, and he's got the upside to be a potential starter when it's all said and done. He's got some development still to go on. I wasn't that impressed with his throwing. I thought he did fine, but I was more impressed with his mobility and his escapability than his throwing, because that one touchdown, the guy was like 10 yards down the field wide the fuck open. That wasn't that impressive.
To me, it wasn't, and also just the way he handled the moment, and the way he played with that swagger and that attitude.
He's got comfort, without a doubt. He's got comfort, But
he plays like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying he's not going to circumvent Drake May in the depth chart. Drake is the future of this franchise. They know it. They draft him that high for a reason. There's no way that I see him being bypassed by a latter round draft pick in Joe Milton, a guy who kind of struggled in certain situations when he was at Tennessee. As much as we love his athleticism, he was not perfect in college whatsoever.
It was very interesting to see them play all 4 quarterbacks, and all 4 quarterbacks look kind of decent. Like, I left that game saying, maybe you keep all 4.
I mean, it's kind of tough. You don't really keep 4 guys on the roster.
You obviously can't do it. There's no possible way, but.
I mean, I thought you can't keep 4 on the roster, but it's just not happen that often going into the regular season.
Like, Zappe looked like he still wants to keep his job. Milton looks like he wants to take Zappe's job at the very least. May, while he was, 2 for 3 and 19 yards, for the little bit that we got saw him, he looked actually pretty comfortable and pretty competent and fairly confident. Brissett was 0 for 3, but he only played 1 set, and the set that he played was when the rain was at its heaviest, so there was no way he was even going to be able to. That ball wasn't going anywhere. There was nothing that he was going to be able to do. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Taco.
Well, I mean, what we do know is that injuries happen every year, unfortunately, and they happen during training camp. And there's been a lot of teams that have lost their quarterback going into the season, which creates trade opportunities, which creates an ability to get a late round pick for one of these guys to step in, maybe in a number 2 spot, maybe as a backup for another team. Maybe another team needs someone to come in and battle. I look at Zappe, I look at Brissett. You probably navigate more towards Zappe being the one that you try to push off and get traded. Because again, you just brought Brissett in, you drafted May, you drafted Milton, and Zappe makes them
back in.
I don't know about Zappe being better than Brissett, but
no, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, you trade Zappe. You try to you show off. Like Zappe had 20 attempts this game. Like you're trying to say, hey, listen, you need a guy like Zappe for your number 2 in a lot of teams or whoever needs it based on injury or whatever comes. And then, bam, you keep your 3 of Brissett, May, and Milton. Let Brissett start it out, and then let May take over. And then, as we've seen, like first round quarterbacks are hitting at like what 50%, 45%. So if Drake May doesn't hit, you got Milton in the back just kind of waiting. So this is much like how Washington did it. They didn't spend a lot of draft capital to get Milton, but the fact that he's looking good now does set it up where if Drake May looks like a stud, you have a potential really great draft chip in Milton or a great cost control backup for a period of time. But I think when you look at it from every point of this game, this is May's team. You invested high draft capital. Use Brissett to give May the time to get acclimated to the league, and you don't have to jump him right into the fire. And then, God forbid, May crashes out. Then you got Milton there to like kind of say, "Hey, we have a backup."
I really hope to put Milton in a package this year of some sort.
Well, it doesn't make sense to do it when May could bust. It's a 50% rate. A lot of times they look great, but they miss. It's a lot.
Milton, utilize Milton's athleticism in some sort of package. Get creative with that shit, like what they did with Fields. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that I agree with. I thought you meant trade package, not like personnel package.
Oh no, not trade package. Fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's Zappy out. May will come into play probably week 5, week 6-ish when if shit's kind of not going the way that they want it. The problem with that whole theory is that Brissett is good enough to at least win enough games in that time period to still maintain a conversation or maintain an argument as to why he needs to keep the job. He would have to really fuck up in game to show beyond a reasonable doubt that he shouldn't be continuing being the starter. That's a 50-50 shot with Brissett, but Brissett will start the season. May will come in, he'll play. If we ever see Milton, I don't know if we ever see Milton. Milton, for all we know, could just be a glorified backup, be a glorified preseason quarterback. Every time we see him in preseason, we're like, damn, like this dude really needs to, be playing somewhere. I saw great athleticism out of Milton last night. I saw a quarterback that definitely wants the moment and is definitely ready for the moment. If it wasn't for, injuries and things, probably could have maybe gone a little bit higher. But you saw why he was drafted last night. I'm excited to see how things work out for the rest of the preseason. Last night's kind of hard to judge with both of the games that we saw took place just because they both played in fucking tsunamis. What do you
mean by tsunamis?
Bro, it was fucking raining crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like the fields in both games respectively last night were wetter than a fucking orgy in Vegas. Like
Jesus Christ.
No
Diddy. It was crazy. He's no Diddy.
God damn.
Like it was like a fucking slip and slide last night. So y'all's two's reaction when I said that.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, maybe I should start going to these games in fucking hazmat suits instead. Like, what the fuck is going on?
That's a clip right there. Like when it's just y'all two reacting to that.
Jesus for real. Yeah. Sign a waiver that you won't sue the team if you get an STD walking in there. I mean, that's fucking gross.
That's fucking, I know, right? Robbie, I'm at the 105. Why did you write it like it's a fucking time? Robbie, I'm at the 1.5 in my 14-man with the weird bonuses for 40-yard catch bonuses and first down catch bonuses. Assuming Tyreek, CMC, CD are all gone, who do you like? And you get that extra bonus for 40 yards. Like,
I mean, off the top of my head, I gravitate towards Sun God.
I was about to say Amon.
But then Chase, especially coming up, knowing that he's a contract year and you don't have Boyd, I see that as another one. I mean, whatchamacallit, Joe Burrow's trying to be on this Slim Shady and be like, guess who's back? And Chase got a contract coming up, so this could be something a little special this year, especially in a 40-yard big play.
for me, it's so hard just because like I'm so high on Amon this year. It really is a conversation of Chase or Amon at that point.
Yeah.
I'd say, I'm not trying to play a homer over here, but DJ Moore, man. DJ Moore's a big play machine. And I think he can.
But not at the 5th pick. Not the 5th overall.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's damn near close to the top of the wide receiving chart. If you're looking for a wide receiver,
you're getting DJ Moore like 3rd round, 3rd, 4th. Like, so like he can come back and get DJ Moore later. Like,
I will admit, I don't know the ADPs, so I could be overshooting it. But I think he could warrant that type of values, like with his production when it's all said and done. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think that Aiden. I don't think that Jettis in that format makes it to you. That's why I didn't include him. Yeah. And I understand the QB situation. The thing is that he's just going to be force fed so much to where the QB situation doesn't really kind of fucking matter. Because he is going to be so heavily force fed. I don't believe that they're fully confident in their options as to what they can utilize as a wide receiver 2 yet. I think that is something that's going to develop probably post week 4. Then when we start seeing like Addison and so on, kind of come into their own. So I don't mind a Jettis there. I just really like Chase and Sun God so much this season. I'm just so fucking high.
Yeah, Amon-Ra's going to cook.
I don't think
I'm not going to fuck shit up.
Yeah, I don't think either way you cut it though, you're bad. That's really personal preference between those 3 guys. Like, if you feel like something about Jefferson because he's good enough to do it,
No, could continue because I think that we're about to say the same thing. Because if he Taco, like if he has time, let's say he's not on the clock till like tomorrow, dude, you can take tonight after this podcast and just watch film, and then that'll guide your decision on like what you like best. But like if you're on the clock right now, it's Chase or Sun God for me, just because of the quarterback situation with Jettis.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And you're at 5, so you at that point one of those guys might be taken, and then you're going to be set back, and it'll be like either one of those 2, Chase or Sun God and Jefferson, and then that'll be your real decision. Is like, do you want Sun God or do you want to take the chance on Jefferson, or do you want Chase or take the chance on Jefferson?
You're never going to run into a situation where JJ gets shut down. You saw him receiver. JJ wants to be on the field, bro.
What's Debo's ADP around the league, around fantasy right now? Is it high?
I'll tell you right now.
He's a little bit lower. I
think he could cook. I think he could absolutely fucking murder.
Debo right now is 37.
Especially if Ayuk's gone. If Ayuk's gone.
We're going to talk about that. I do have updates on that. I do have all the updates on that. We are not going to talk about that just yet.
I'm just saying.
Debo's ranked 37 overall in comparison to 5. What we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's get into halftime. All right. On the other side, as probably someone that's been the closest to the story, just because some personal sources that are close to the player. Shout out to my homies in the Bay. We do have some updates on BA. And I probably have some updates that you guys may or may not even know or may have heard, but you're not sure how you feel about from the source that you're hearing. I'm going to confirm or deny some of those things. We are going to be talking about Dallas on the other side because there's always drama down in Dallas. And we're going to look forward to more preseason action. We got a whole lot more to discuss here on the other side of the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. We'll be right back after a couple of music videos and a word from our sponsors. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly. We love and appreciate all of you. We'll be right back in a few.
Hey, bro. Yeah. When is this going to kick in?
When's what going to kick in?
Hop out in Miami with no land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, don't turn me up, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop CLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, where you're not.
What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe, you share the content. We greatly appreciate you. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What to do? Shout out to my homie Blake G. Shout out to my homies Equally Opposite. And big shout out to GLD. Link is down low in the description. Let's go. Yee.
Oh.
You're like, oh, Oh God, just you watching me doing like, oh God.
I'm the sober sister here. No, I just say, I didn't have any alcohol on me. Sorry, I couldn't join in.
You're good. You're always good. My sober sister.
Oh shucks. Alrighty.
I am going to start off this side of the show with news that we've been tracking for the last couple of months here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that you guys hit that like button. We appreciate you. Share the content. As everyone knows, I've been very, very close to the Brandon Ayuk situation. What started off as just like little like hints and teases from like his social media, like me actually like getting in with the camp. For those that follow me on the Rumboyz on my personal on the Robbie J Facebook page, you may have known that I already predicted the outcome that we're going to get to. It is what it is. But before I continue, before I get into this rant, I just want to say first, as per your latest Instagram post, BA, Brandon, I fucking love you. All right. I love you. All right. I appreciate you allowing me to be able to tag you in certain things. I appreciate certain things being tipped off here and there. Taco's been a part of this journey. All right. Shout out, Drop the Mic. Drop the Mic knows all the details about this journey. Per your last Instagram post, sir, it's two options out there. Pick one and stop dropping reports. Simple. No, we're not going to do that. You started it. We're going to finish it. You're an NFL superstar. Contracts and shit, we report on. You try to work your way out of San Fran. All right. Like, I'm going to just keep it real. You played your role in San Fran as a 2. You put up 1A-like numbers your last 2 seasons. Okay. There was a proposed, as revealed, as about 30 minutes before we went live earlier. We've been on live about an hour and 15 minutes. About 30 minutes before we went live, it was revealed it was a second, a fifth, plus Amari Cooper with Cleveland. Before that information dropped, I already said it's probably going to be a second, a fourth, and a receiver from any given team. We knew that New England was going to offer you $28.5 million, rumored to even go up to 32. You refused because you didn't like the quarterback situation there. And that's why you didn't go to New England. San Francisco didn't feel like Amari was a fair enough exchange of goods for the services you provided, which I feel different because I feel like you two could have been interchangeable, and that was probably the best deal on the fucking table. But I understand San Fran saying, Cleveland, you're probably going to compete this year. That second and that fourth isn't going to be as high up as we want. Washington was the first team out of anyone that pulled out. Adam Pierce, your former GM, who knows all of your tricks and the tricks of the trade, meant that you probably tried to fleece Washington in the fucking beginning and get over on them, thinking it might have been the same old regime. Peters was going for that. He pulls out. New England pulls out after offering $28.5 million to $32 million, which means that picks also would have been involved, which I imagine would have been a second and a fifth. Cleveland offers you Amari, a second and a fourth. You refuse that. Ayuk shows up at Steelers camp 2 days ago, a day ago, thinking a deal is going to get done. Steelers insiders are reporting that a deal is absolutely without BA leaving the fucking building. Steelers do not want to give up the picks either. The situation comes down to picks. The situation comes down to picks plus the price of the receiver. Brandon, I don't think that other teams are confident that you come in and be a 1. I think that everyone views you as a 2. This is no slight to you. In the words of the homie Rumboyz Raj, the homie FFB Raj, everyone's waited on you to figure out what you're going to do for the last 2 months, and everyone's gotten blue balls. And now we all discovered, I told you guys a fucking week ago this was going to happen, that it's likely to be reinstated, that it's likely that you're going to reinstate trade talks with the 49ers because they have just too much fucking leverage. And now trade talks are reinstated with the 49ers. So go ahead and sign with San Fran. Play this shit out. Either sign with San Fran or play out your current contract. I prefer you probably play out your contract, and then you can dictate your market next year and ask for even more money after showing out this year. But if you want to sign for a year, 2 years, 3 years with San Fran on a lower number, do that. And that's my rant. The market's not value as a 1 to make you a fucking top 7 paid receiver, top 5 fucking paid receiver that you think that you are.
I mean, I don't know. The thing with this is, like, Brandon Ayuk has been trending up in his defense over the last couple of years.
Has.
He's been trending up. And in fact, I believe behind Tyreek Hill last year. Now, okay, take this with a grain of salt because I myself don't buy into all this bullshit, okay? PFF's grading system, it's got some fucking flaws. Let's be real, right? As much as I like some things that PFF does, they got a lot of faults themselves in terms of why we should buy into so much of this grading shit and things that aren't as clarifying as they could be, you know? I believe, though, that Brandon Ayuk, if memory serves me correctly, he was the second highest graded wide receiver behind Tyreek Hill last year out of all NFL wide receivers. So, I mean, and we all fully acknowledge, too, that he's in a beneficial system that allows the playmakers to thrive because there's so much that works in their favor to open up opportunities for certain other guys to thrive, you know? I think Ayuk is a really good receiver. Now, if he were to get paid a top 7, you know, type of contract, we do understand that, okay, is he a top 7 receiver? I mean, I don't know. The last 2 years he's been trending up. He could very much be. I don't think he's elite. He's second highest receiver in the league. He's second highest grade receiver in the league, you know, last year. I don't know about that. I think it's a little bit high, and I don't think he's the second best receiver in the league overall in general. But this is a game of leapfrog. We have to understand that, you know, when it comes to salary, you know, contract negotiating, all that shit. So there's always going to be guys going up above each other, even when they don't deserve it, you know? And it's just a matter of the market resetting itself. So if you were to be paid that much money, I'm not going to be hell-bent on saying he doesn't deserve that, even though I think a lot of guys, you know, get paid way too fucking much as it is.
I feel like he does.
Owners included.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, David. I feel like he does. His situation is weird because, like, yeah, I feel like you do deserve it because to what you're saying, you've been trending up, you know, and like I just said as well, you show me 1A type numbers, you know, it's just because the offense that you played in is what has kind of hesitated you from showing other teams that you can be a 1. I think that what San Fran is asking in return, because of how much leverage San Fran has, the money plus what the team would have to give up is what makes a trade. Like, that's where the crossroads is. It's like,
well, and the thing is, like, here's the thing too. Like, to honestly, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate about the 1, you know, whether he's a 1 or not. But I don't really know if he's a 1. I think he could be a 1. I'm not quite sure because I thought of Debo as the 1 out of all wide receivers in that offense. He's the 1. Agreed. I know the production didn't reflect that last year in terms of who accounted for more yards and shit. But I believe Debo is the absolute default number 1. You know. So there is a sense of like he might need to prove himself. And I think that's where there could be some suspicion because, again, he's also in a beneficial offense from a revolutionary play caller like Kyle Shanahan with what he's done in San Francisco over the last few years. He's done some special things.
That's solid, Matt.
And schematically getting guys open. So I don't know. I'm really curious. They say it's going to trend like like I think Tom Pelissero said it's trending like he's going to come back to San Francisco. He said that I think it was 6 hours ago. I don't know.
We
man.
have Pelissero and then also the homie Jordan.
How do they do this though? With C-Mac, with Kittle, with Purdy, who hasn't signed a deal yet.
You
know,
still have to get Williams done. You still have to get Williams
and
done.
he wants more guaranteed money. I don't think they're changing his contract in terms of money, but he wants the guaranteed shit taken care of.
I think that all that we know is negotiations are reinstated. That is a very 7 years in. That is a very fucking broad statement. That could mean, listen, you experimented, you saw, you tried. This reminds me of Saquon last year, except the market can pay him. I don't think that this close to the season, the market wants to pay him that. If you wanted to do this, you should have fucking done it during the draft. And in all honesty, you probably should have taken Washington's offer during the draft.
I'm absolutely fascinated at how they're going to get this shit fucking done, because are they going to just defer a shit ton of money for future years? You have so many guys to account for. So many, you have too many studs that want big time money.
It's bad. It's bad.
Because you're playing in a salary cap system. This is a fucking Major League Baseball,
Taco, your thoughts? We've been covering you. Taco, you've been on every Brand Ayuk episode for the last fucking 2 months. So,
I mean, I think at this point in time, this is posturing, negotiating, and leverage. This is understanding, okay, you have a couple of teams that are interested. You know where you want to go. I heard that now the 49ers are back on the table. Seems like he doesn't want to give up the full possibility of winning. I think that's part of the reason why New England was immediately off the table. Probably why he's shying away from the Browns, because let's face it, do you think that you're going to be the guy that comes over the Browns and makes them fucking finally be good? No, stay the fuck away from there. That's a dumpster fire every year, no matter what, no matter who they have. And I don't think I'm going to be the piece that's going to take them into the next step. So I can see why he struck that down. Now, the Steelers and possibly the 49ers still might be in game. And I think that he's right now just doing what, any big, good businessman would do. It's negotiating, it's posturing, it's saying things sometimes that you don't necessarily mean in order to push where you need to go, or maybe it's flirting with teams that you don't find desirable. There's a lot of times that you go to the bar and you start talking to one girl because you're looking at the other girl and you just want to kind of make the other girl notice you a little bit, and they start seeing you talk to that one girl.
Hey, Taco, wait, Taco. I just seen my ex-girl standing with my next girl standing with the girl that I'm fucking right now.
You know what I mean? It's sometimes like that.
Where's that
from? I think that's what we're seeing here. He knows, he knows what time it is. And it's clear where we know he wants to be. And like Robbie said, they pulled out. So maybe this is posturing in order to be like, fuck it. We'll take a fifth instead of a fourth. We'll take the sixth. Fuck it. Instead of taking the fourth, we'll take the sixth just to get over this headache. You know what I mean? It's that kind of level of negotiation where it's still early enough in the cycle that I believe that this is all just tactics in order to get to where he wants to go. Like in the NBA.
I think that the thought process of feeling like this is early enough is preposterous, to be honest. I think that we are at a crossroads to where it is San Fran, or if it's not San Fran within by Monday, if it's not San Fran by Tuesday, you're getting sent off to the worst of any of those. San Fran has so much leverage, and here's what's crazy because
but isn't it that he's negotiating the contract though?
Yes, you signed Chosen Anderson off the streets. You signed Robbie Anderson off the streets. Ricky Pearsall's been, dealing with a couple of nagging injuries, et cetera, et cetera. He played an extremely long year in college last year. It's going to happen transferring in the NFL, getting your body adjusted. It happens. With that being said and stated, I see to where John Lynch does end up botching this. I see this to where this being this version of the 49ers being the last year of it. there's like David was saying, how the fuck do you do this? How do you do this?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't Major League Baseball where you like you're not deferring money.
Yeah.
He'll get a deal done.
Well, so
no.
Honestly, I think this is just an act of like Brandon Ayuk, like kind of like fake crying, like he's just out here like, and he's like looking on the side of his eye, like, you know, are they paying attention? You know, like that's what I think this really is. He's trying to guilt trip the fuck out of them so they can pay him the money because I don't think he really wants to leave deep down. I think he wants to stay there. You know, if he had to choose.
He knows
because he said he wanted to stay. This all started because he said he wanted to stay.
I know, but you know, he's doing the they don't want me, man, and all the Will Smith fucking Fresh Prince memes and shit, you know, like all that shit. Like
I made some of those.
5 years, like if he were to get 5 years, $130 million between the 49ers, or he could choose to get that from, like, let's just say the Ravens, hypothetically, what would he choose? I think he would stay with the 49ers.
So
you know,
Jeff,
if that were to happen.
Jeff, what I've been doing is with each dues that I get out of his camp, like I'll release my fucking formula right now. I'll fucking say it. I don't care. I'm not saying any names of who I'm getting anything from. I'm still protecting my sources, so I know that my sources will still protect me as well, and will still be my sources. What I'll do is anything that I get from that side, I'm immediately cross-referencing with the other party. Sometimes to get my information, it may take a couple of phone calls or two, leaving a voicemail, you know, hey, yo, hit me back. It may take like a lot of, but that's also how, like, Jeff, you follow my page. Like, that's how you see me publishing shit before sometimes they're even fucking getting to it. You know, I just don't do it on Twitter just because in case I fucking get it wrong, like, I don't want to be at fault because then I have to snitch someone out. Like, then I have to fucking drop it out. It's like, hey, yo, this motherfucker at over here. But no. Yeah, bro. I don't think that is a matter of, you know, teams leaking it to push down the price or anything. Ayuk wants what Ayuk wants. San Fran wants what San Fran wants. San Fran holds all the leverage. Ayuk has to play this thing out. And I think that Ayuk and his camp are figuring it out. I think that his camp is sitting back talking to him and they're saying, hey, let's play it out. Let's just play it out. It's going to suck, but you're going to make 10 times fucking more next year.
It's just like, I don't know. I fucking hate that the salary cap has to get in the way of, like, you know, of all this shit, you know? And
I hate that. I hate that he's the next man up, but at a position with so much depth, it's hard to apply next man up. Like, there's less quarterbacks than there are. There's less running backs than there are receivers. So next man up applies the concept, the philosophy applies a lot easier to their positions. At receiver, there's so fucking many.
But the thing with receiver, you're not wrong there in terms of the depth and all that shit. Like, I like what you're saying with that, but at the same time, the wide receivers generally come at a premium price tag, you know, especially compared to running backs, you know? And I think he recognizes that. He's like, let me get what's fucking mine, god damn it, you know? And they don't want to, like, they're like, well, we're caught in a bind. Like, there's not much we can do because we've got all these other fucking hoops to jump through.
If Ayuk put up Ayuk numbers in a significantly lesser system, fuck, we'll take one of the teams that he's been offered. You know, if Ayuk put up Ayuk numbers the last 2 years in New England, he's getting that contract this year.
Yes, 100%. They think of him as beneficial to the system, you know, or the system benefiting him, you know.
He's in a what I meant to say. Debo and Kittle,
and C-Mac, and Purdy's like already, you know, been putting himself on the fucking map too. You know, Trent Williams is like, you know,
just can't afford
creating
him.
Opportunities for the passing game to get going too. Furthermore, who's the best?
If I'm Ayuk, I signed to play this thing out, right? And the very next day, I walk in the locker room like nothing has ever happened. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? And I'm walking over to Purdy, and I'm like, you're my key to getting out of here. I know that you got to feed Kittle and Debo. Please give me the ball. Please give me the ball.
I think he'll be valued. The thing is, I do think he has left enough of an imprint that he will be valued no matter where he goes.
But it's 100% going to be elsewhere. It's 100% going to be elsewhere.
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
think
in-
after everything you can bring him back at this point. You have to get the capital, and the fact that you're getting another wide receiver, all things considered, make this you must get a deal done. You got to pull back a wide receiver with some picks to replenish the cupboards and have someone that wants to be there, and that's locked down in a little bit of a contract because you got that Purdy contract coming up next year. That's going to make sure that Ayuk ain't going to get paid.
The thing is, though, last thing before I'm done with this, the thing is, I do believe that this is not personal. This is just business. As cliche as it fucking sounds to say out loud. I think if they were able to come, like I think I don't think they're going to hate each other and there's going to be a vendetta or anything like that.
I don't think that. I think that's why I think he can have the
not bad
conversation
blood.
with Purdy. Yeah, I think he can walk up to Purdy's locker and be like, "Give me the ball," and like Purdy be like, "I know what you need. Like I know I need to get you more money. I need to get you out of here. I got you. I want to keep the conversation moving from one wide receiver to another.
Okay.
I feel like I'm
It's about getting interesting.
I feel like I'm gonna take a little. I mean, well, you fellas got the show sheet. I send that shit in the group chat and shit, so you already know where this is about to go.
Yeah.
I just feel like I need to take a shot before talking about this organization, because like this organization has been featured on the last talk of 3 episodes, 3 out of 4. I think they've been featured on 3 out of 4 or 3 out of 5, like some shit like that.
You would say he might have an infatuation with them.
Do these fucking
we don't know? That's the thing, is that we don't. They do, like Taco. You and I both know they do this shit to themselves.
Do these cow whores need any more publicity as it is? I mean, come on.
Shot. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? We're really about to have to talk about this crew.
Yeah, fuck this. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off the crotch,
Jerry Jones stated this week, there is no keyword 2 urgency on getting a deal done for CeeDee Lamb. Since then, the wide receiver has removed America's team from his bio on all social media. We already know the other issues with contracts and Dallas. At this rate, with all these distractions and unsatisfied star talent on the roster, can Dallas even fucking make 100? This is not a good start. I can't remember the last time I saw Dallas deal with this much turmoil in the offseason and do good. These two things usually don't equate. Taco.
I mean, what's your definition of do good? Because they haven't won a Super Bowl in how long? So, I mean, yeah, everything's relative. They'll be the Cowboys. The Cowboys will cowboy, and this is them cowboying. I mean, I think there's a graphic, right, that we have with the stats, which simply showing that CeeDee Lamb numbers. Like, bro, nobody else on this team is kind of worth anything right now at the wide receiver position, and you're putting yourself at a huge risk. And he knows that. And this is, again, a position like Ayuk. This is posturing. This is making deals. This is Jerry Jones saying he's not in a rush to make a deal. Ayuk says, bet. I don't have to have your shit anywhere on my thing either. I'm the number 1 wide receiver. Everybody's talking about me right now. It's going fantasy season. I'm building my brand. I'm building my name up. You're going to eventually have to do something. I'm going to play this year. It's not like I'm not going to play. But right now it's the posturing. Right now it's trying to get those negotiating terms down. I mean, let's face it, CeeDee Lamb definitely will be the next man up whenever he's through his turn. He will set that next market, whether it be before Chase or after Chase or how that goes down. He gonna get his, and rightfully so. This isn't like, some of these other guys.
But they also have to sign Parsons on the defensive side.
You're right. You're right.
You
They're gonna have to
don't
make
know-
tough decisions.
They don't know what they're doing with Dak, but I personally am underneath the belief that I think they have figured that out. So the fact that for me believing that they're going to move on past Dak, and Dak is going to accept that he's going to play this one out and move on. And it sounds like that Dak has already accepted that through press, which we discussed previous weeks. Getting this new development from CD and his camp, for me, is a little bit odd. Simply due to the fact that this was a guy that you had to pay out of the bunch. You had to pull a Minnesota and how they pay Jay Jettis. You were in – the formula was already set. The formula was already laid. I don't get how you fuck this up.
But the question is, like, if you're gonna move off of Dak and you don't have any other weapons, maybe you're dealing him.
Dak, Shador, they're gonna draft a quarterback. Dak will play out this year because
if they play out this year, they're not gonna have a top like 10 pick. If Dak and CeeDee Lamb play, they are no way.
Yeah, no, they could still win 10 games this year.
I mean, the capital that it'll take, I don't know.
I got them winning 9 to 10 games this year, as is. The thing, though, is like I like you how you brought up that, they still have to take on Mike Parsons' new contract that he's negotiating. Yeah. The thing with this, though, is that Dak has gone on record about his contract negotiations, saying, I don't play for the money. Like, everything is dealt by my agent, and I just let them deal with it. Thing is, I think because of the situation, he's going to have to step in personally and be like, listen, I might have to take a pay cut if we want to stay in Dallas, because they still have a lot more contract negotiation to do with CD and with Micah as well, you know? And I mean, shit, like, what are they going to do with Trayvon Diggs when it's all said and done? Deron Bland and all of that. Like, there's a lot of pieces that are coming in furthermore at premium positions too, that they're going to have to figure out when it's, sooner rather than later. So I just think that, it's another issue with the salary cap. I think Dak needs to step in personally if he wants to stay in Dallas. Otherwise, tough decisions are going to have to be made. And especially after this year too, when we think about it. I mean, this is kind of like the unbelievable perfect timing to test out what this team is really made of, because this feels like the last year for Dallas to go prove itself to be a potential Super Bowl contender, which they fucking haven't been over the last couple of years. They've been absolute fucking fugazi best case scenario.
Straight up fugazi, bro.
Exactly. This is the last year where you've got all the pieces with CD, with Dak, and with Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland and Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, all these guys, to prove itself before they might have to end up rebuilding to some degree, including Mike McCarthy being gone and so on and so forth. Because this has been, let's face it, an underwhelming team. This should have been a team that should have been contending for the Super Bowl over the last couple of years, but they've been absolutely fucking forgettable in the playoffs.
I'm not trying to say this is like me being a Commanders fan and me being a Cowboys hater. Fuck Dallas. This is an absolute fucking travesty that you have 3 stars. The 49ers have an excuse. They've been winning. They built culture. What is your excuse?
Yeah.
You had the same amount of time to put any of these players on contract. You knew that you had to do this since February. You knew that you had to do this when you got bounced from the fucking playoffs. You could have started this then. I know the market. I can predict the market. Jerry, you're rich. I get it. I get Warren Buffett made a killing seeing trends before they fucking happen. Bitch, it's 2024. It's 2024.
Yeah, fuck Jerry Jones, man. That dude, what was that? He's an oil bitch, isn't he? Isn't that how he got famous?
Yeah,
he got rich off oil.
He got rich off of oil.
Yeah,
like not even like off of like real like decision making and investments and shit. Like you got rich off something that was already there.
Yeah, he didn't invent some shit,
Like you just own something that's all coming out of the earth.
Yeah, that's good,
bro.
I like that.
the formula was simple. Other teams have laid out the formula. You know that you have to get cheaper at some point. You age your offensive fucking line to death to where now you basically don't have one. You brought back Zeke, who's old as shit. He can't even run through the goddamn the fucking breaking tackle machine without hitting his goddamn nuts. You got people down who's fucking practically RB, what, 50 or RB 40, 45, some shit like that. You can't even fucking fill out attendance at training camps in California where people love to be outside.
Oh, man. That is pretty embarrassing, you know?
I used to live in California, David. David, you know what my favorite thing to do in California is?
What?
Go outside.
Yeah.
You know why? It's hot. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah. Like, you got fucking Ozempic taking ass Zeke. Like, this is just bad. This is just bad. It's just bad.
Jerry Jones, like, he really needs to step down. Like, I just you're the problem, dude. I don't know how he hasn't realized it. You know, like, I'm fully convinced that his suits are made out of synthetic crack cocaine because there's no other rationale to explain how fucking twisted this guy has consistently been over the last, like, 25 plus fucking years, you know?
There's no way that this team makes above 500. And the only reason why I say that, not the only reason, but one of them, you didn't change anything. You didn't fucking get better. Anywhere. Like Taco brought up, where's your wide receiver 2?
So if you think Cooks, I mean, I think Cooks could still potentially be. He could have a better year than last year, but I don't know, man. I mean, he's on the wrong side of 30 right now, you know?
Like, this is what you have.
Yeah. It's not looking, it's not trending significantly up.
McMathis going to get cut. Brooks is hanging on by a thread. Turpin is just Brooks. Tolbert, I don't even know how the fuck you're on a fucking NFL roster.
That's mean. That's mean.
And Cooks is just old.
Yeah, he's getting up there. But he did have a nice second half of the season last year. He did start to find his rhythm. It was his first year in the new offense. To his defense, that he did have a second half, but is that just a one-off? Is that just a coincidence? You know, that's the big question when it comes to the wide receiver too.
Calvin said Cowboys suck.
Yeah.
They're not going to send Jerry Jones out on top. He's going to run that shit in the ground and still be straight. Well, I mean, billionaire. They got 1 wide receiver and 3 kick returners. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Turpin is a UFL player. XFL league is there. Look, it's bad, and I don't think at this point, as the weeks progress, they weren't even supposed to make the show sheet this week. But until that was said, I was like, and it started creeping in my head. I don't think that this team can make 500. So I'm
really wow. I don't not even 500. Wow, that's spicy right there.
I don't think that these guys trust each other. I think that everyone's winning their money. They're all looking at each other like, how the fuck do we all get out of here? I think they're all looking to get out.
Question: who do you got finishing higher, the Commanders or the Cowboys?
Commanders. I literally have it Philly. I literally have it Philly, Washington, New York, Dallas.
I mean,
I literally have at this point, I have New York better than Dallas.
I know they lost Tyron Smith. They lost Stephon Gilmore. It's 2 stupid decisions made right there to let those guys go because Stephon Gilmore, I think, can still play at a high level. And Tyron Smith is still an elite left tackle when he's healthy. He's still fucking elite. The Jets stumbled upon an absolute gold mine getting him. I don't know why they didn't try to retain him. So their offensive line's not as good as it used to be, but I just think because of Dak in the regular season, he's pretty fucking reliable. CeeDee Lamb, I like what they've got going with Jake Ferguson.
If I'm Dak,
Landis looked awesome last year,
If I'm Dak, I'm literally coming in there and I'm trying to just do enough so that someone else picks me up.
The thing is, though, I will say, and I'm shocked about this, the Cowboys have never really let between the players that between player drama set into the season. I feel like compared to certain other teams.
No,
like who?
That definitely happens. That
with who?
The amount of documentaries that I've seen where they're like, yeah, no, like, okay, so not the '90s Cowboys. So everything pretty much.
The '90s, no, they had drama, but it was more so between the players and the coaches, and a little bit of players.
Like everything, like Quincy Carter on, like everything, like Quincy Carter era on. There's been so much infighting and so much shit, like that whole TO drop, that whole TO era.
I'm talking about Dak and CD, for instance, with Micah. I don't think they hate each other. No. Oh,
okay. No, I understand what you're saying.
That's what I mean. The past, yes.
No, they don't hate each other, but I think that they all. I could easily see them all being enough of. I can see them all meeting and being like, enough of this shit. We all need to get out of here. Mm-hmm. Let's just do enough to keep ourselves healthy, put up decent enough stats to get us the fuck out of here. But I could see that. Micah has not shown the enthusiasm for Dallas that he has in previous seasons this year. CD just removed the shit from his fucking bio, and Dak has already talked about a second phase in his career with a different team.
This is
thing, fucking bad.
I think the CD thing is just a negotiation ploy.
I think it's CD. I think it's CD standing with the guys. Because
I remember seeing, like, when I was, last year, and this is last year in the preseason. So, I'll take that as a grain of salt compared to what it is now. But I was on the sideline, but when the Cowboys were playing the Seahawks, on the Cowboys sideline, and I saw constantly throughout the game, Dak and CD were chatting it up, and they seem like they're boys. They're good friends,
and that's why I think that them two would have a talk. I think we're going to get bare minimum out of this offense this year. I think that we're going to get bare minimum. I think the Giants could easily get 1 out of 2 against Dallas this year.
I'll say the O-line is suspect.
Easily.
Yes, the Commanders could beat the Cowboys 100%. They could beat the Cowboys.
I'm saying the Giants. I know. If we're going off of my prediction, I think the Giants fucking get the Cowboys for 1. For fucking sure. I'm guaranteeing it.
I think it's not because the Cowboys are so good. It's because the Giants are so fucking shitty. I'm sorry.
I think Philly sweeps Dallas. I think Philly sweeps Dallas.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I think DC sweeps Dallas.
You are riding that ship so hard, bro.
I think that New York goes 1 for 1 with Dallas.
Oh, God.
There's just too much drama, and you can't be a team. You can't be a team that way. I don't see what they can be a team around. I don't see what they can build around. I want to get into the next topic here because I do want to fit in room for at least one more. We did have preseason football tonight. Okay. Didn't really care too much about the action in the Dolphins matchup. Didn't really care too much about, Eagles and Ravens. I do care about Pittsburgh. All right. DC sweeps Dallas. Get off. Yo, I'm saying, bro, we're going to sweep. We're going for the sweep, baby.
There you go.
Get the fucking brooms.
Leafs defense. We got to
but I do want
Robin not caving to the brainwashing.
Fuck you. I love you.
I love you, buddy.
But no, I do want to kind of talk about the games that happened tonight. I don't know if you fellas caught them. I really want to focus in on the situation in Pittsburgh. Justin Fields has looked good through camp. And tonight, let me just double check because I know what I saw on film looked really good. I want to do the whole, I want to do the whole stats thing real fast. From 2 overall to the Super Bowl for Robbie. No, I have us getting wild card. That's it. I have us no further than wild card. Washington's not going any further than wild card. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Yeah, this is Skip Bayless we're talking about. No.
What?
No, I'm saying it's not Skip Bayless level bias.
Oh, yeah. No. 6 attempts, 5 completions, 83.3% completion percentage, 67 yards, 11.2 per average, no TDs, no picks, but with a 113.2 QB rating. Fields looked damn good. Fields defense, while looking damn good, he was going up against the ones for Houston. Okay. David, this is your former quarterback. That locker room loved this kid.
Oh, I love him still to this day. I shed a tear every night thinking about him.
Is there a chance that we are looking at a quarterback battle here?
Hell no. Let me tell you why. Because Russell Wilson, they've even said Russell Wilson is QB1. Now, I know he went 5 for 6. Again, first preseason game. So, again, let's take this with a grain of salt. Even if he did look really good with money throws. This was over
against ones.
Shit.
Against ones.
Yeah, but vanilla shit. And they're not everyone's starting to, Like even the ground game didn't even, for instance, for Houston, I haven't watched the game, so I don't know how Fields played on tape. I heard it was kind of mixed. I heard the throws were nice, but he took 2 sacks and he fumbled the ball twice to couple with that as well. Okay,
Calvin Nunn stays in the NFL. There's more money to move around.
But I'm not trying to shit on Fields. I love Fields. Okay, I wanted him to stay. I wanted him over Caleb Williams. That's how much I loved Justin Fields. And there's no diss towards Caleb Williams. I just thought we were already set with Justin Fields, who I thought was sabotaged by some fucking con artists that are running our team right now. But let me digress. The thing is with Justin Fields, he's not in an ideal situation. He's playing behind Russell Wilson. He should be starting for a team. He just happens to be playing for the wrong team that he can't be starting for because there's a better quarterback in front of him.
How do you feel about the comment?
Russ can't scramble. Yes, he can. Yes, he fucking can.
No,
that is not true.
No,
yes,
he can't.
Dude, he ran for 400 yards last year. He was benched for part of the season. He's still athletic. Don't get that twisted. Do not get that twisted. Is Fields more athletic? Yes, he's more athletic. But Fields is not the passer that Russell Wilson is already. And yes, I'm even talking about 2023 Russell Wilson, who was good last year. Wasn't great, but he was good. He was still one of the top 10 most efficient deep ball throwers in the league last year. He still threw the ball relatively well from all dimensions of the field. He didn't turn over the ball as much. In fact, he turned it over far less than he did the previous year, which we all know was a dumpster fire year for him. I think Russell Wilson can still play at a high level. I think the thing with Russell Wilson is he needs to go to an environment where he's absolutely valued. He was not valued in Denver. That was clear from almost the get-go, okay? Sean Payton was an absolute asshole the way he handled that situation. He absolutely
He's still an asshole. He's still an asshole the way he's handling that situation in Denver right now.
I think now that there's something to be said about starting on a fresh, new, clean slate with a new franchise that is going to value. And it's not just because it's a new franchise. It's because the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers we're talking about. They have a track record that shows they value talent. And they will put you in the right situation. And they will treat you like a goddamn fucking, adult, okay? And not like a baby. Like the fucking Broncos were doing, all right? They're incompetent. That's why they haven't done shit since Peyton Manning has left, okay? There's a reason.
Peyton Manning did that, not the front office. Peyton Manning did that, not the front office.
Yeah, even then.
That defense did that, not the front office.
Like, a lot of that was being carried by veteran leadership and shit, I mean, I do think Jerry Kubiak was a good coach for them and stuff, so I don't want to disregard him. But anyways, I like this situation. Russell Wilson, give him a chance. I don't like the rumors that he's losing his job. Even the Steelers are saying he's QB1. Could there be a QB battle? Yes, because Fields is that talented, and Fields is actually in a situation where he's not going to be sabotaged anymore. He's actually got some players to work with and a promising enough offensive line that's not going to turn into a goddamn fucking matador that's going to allow everyone to run right by and sack his ass, you know? So I like that. I like that for Fields. But Russell Wilson still, based on what they've proven, is the better player at quarterback.
Only once has Russell Wilson had a QB rating lower than 90. That was in 2022 at 84.4 when Sean Payton took over.
Yeah.
And pretty much fucked Russell Wilson over. Other than that, he has always...
He's a future Hall of Famer.
105, 106, 110, 95, 92, 110, 95, 101, 100. In his last year in Denver, 98. So I definitely give credence to your take. Part of me just does feel that at some point, this is a quarterback battle to watch because at some point I think that we do see Fields just because of what he is demonstrating, what he has been demonstrating. Fields is one of those guys to where you don't want him to win the locker room over for even a fucking day. You don't want him to look good for even a day. And I think that Russell Wilson may have some sense of that just looking at his facial expressions on the sideline tonight. You could tell that Russell Wilson kind of looked eager to want to go and want to play. To be able to prove himself. I think that Russell Wilson has that in the back of his head.
And and last little point I wanted to make too, like he like I said, he's valued in this situation. I do recognize there is a QB battle. In fact, Mike Tomlin said that. But I think, and that speaks volumes to how good Justin Fields has the capability of being already. Yeah. So I fully acknowledge that. But I just think Russell Wilson will be clutch when need be to keep his starting job, to keep this team afloat, to get this team back into winning fashion at more than just a more than just a one and fucking done route like they've been on over the last few years in the fucking playoffs. Because they haven't even won a playoff game in, since 2017, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah. It's been a minute.
At the end of the day, we're breaking down preseason football.
Yeah.
Taco, your thoughts?
I mean, I think, you guys covered a lot of this. I mean, Justin Fields was drafted high because he has immense talent, and I think he's shown flashes all throughout his career. But as shown through this, preseason, he already has 2 fumbles. You know what I mean? He's like much like how Daniel Jones was early on. There'll be glimpses, but you still can't make sure you don't turn the ball over, which is the number one job of a quarterback, is don't keep giving that ball back. So I think, with him still having that problem, there's no way he's going to get ahead of Russell Wilson to start the season. It's going to be one of those situations where Russell Wilson's going to have to lose it because knowing Tomlin, this is going to be a playoff team. And if Russell Wilson is leading this team to the playoffs, there's no reason for you to bench him for Fields unless Russell Wilson is performing suboptimally or there's an injury. So for Fields, this is an opportunity for him to kind of learn, grow, and kind of like, remember, you cannot turn the ball over.
Well, in Fields' defense, though, I will say he didn't turn the ball over at all today, but he did risk it with the fumbles,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, still the fumbles.
But again, also like they're in fucking torrential down. Well, that game it was still wet. It was wet before, so the ball's gonna get wet because of the ground being wet. So that even when I was calling that during on air, I was like, oh fuck, like wait. And that fumble wasn't his, that was actually the center's. It was during the snap.
And Leafs, I don't know what you're talking about with the sideline situation. Russell throws the ball well in the middle of the field statistically. He throws the ball well enough in the middle of the field,
Yeah, Russ. What I've always respected about Russ is that he does balance between receivers.
Yeah, he doesn't even need a wide receiver 1. He can throw by committee if he wants to.
Yeah, I do love this comment here. Steelers are going to reap the rewards in the draft, being able to sidestep a QB and After wide receiver, O line, pass rush, absolutely. They were smart.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is any denying that. I do want to get into one final topic tonight. I can't believe we were able to fit in fucking 8 topics. It's been a very busy week in the NFL.
Yeah.
I want to talk about coaches on the hot seat. Coaches under pressure the most. This is per Bucky Brooks. I agree with this list. Bucky, shout out. I would love to interview you. I'd love to sit down and talk to you, get to meet you, brother. Sit back, talk football, have a drink. If that's not your thing, let's sit back, praise the Lord, and talk football. I'm down with that too. Number 1, Mike McCarthy. Number 2, Robert Salah. Number 3, Nick Sirianni. Number 4, Matt Eberflus. Number 5, Brian Dable.
Yeah.
I feel like I should remove Dable off this list because I feel like he's a saving grace for that organization. But we'll leave this list to where it is. Who's underneath the hot seat the most, in your opinion? We'll actually start with Taco.
I mean, I think Salah is like the most obvious based on, where I'm from. I don't understand how, if he has a healthy Rodgers, he has, this defense, he has a healthy Breece Hall, healthy Wilson, that this team is not winning the division, or at least very close to the division, and winning a wild card spot. If they're not making the playoffs, he's gone without question. This team definitely should have, deep playoff aspirations for the Jets. And I think that at the end of the day, if they don't, he has to be gone. I think Mike McCarthy, I mean, you were saying it, you don't expect much from the Cowboys. He's kind of put in a situation of a dead team walking almost, with all these different contract negotiations and everything like that. The Jets are in a situation where they've put a lot of things together, much like Sirianni. I don't really see Sirianni being on the hot seat unless there's an epic collapse.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, that team is going to go out and dominate, and they'll be in the playoffs, and it'll be another run. But, I don't see them really being something that you would shake up, even if he does have a bad beat in the playoffs. So long as this team is performing at the regular season level of 11, 12 wins, you're going to want to keep him on.
What we were probably expecting out of Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So Eberflus is another one, though. Fuck that guy.
I'm right there with you.
David, your turn.
Yeah, no, Taco hit the nail right on the head. It's definitely Salah, and the reason why, it's because of a few things. For one thing, he's yet to go to the playoffs with his team. It's been a few years now since he's been the head coach. The rookie thing did not work out with Zach Wilson. It fucking didn't work out at all. All right. That's not a good that's not a good way to start your coaching legacy with your franchise. Okay. You have, now you have all these veteran guys. You have Quinnen Williams, you have Rodgers. Garrett Wilson's been in the league for a couple years. Breece Hall's been in the league for a couple years now. Tyron Smith, all that they're predominantly built on veteran leadership. Hassan Reddick just came there, for fuck's sake. There's so many guys. It's not about being patient for the rookies. It's win now mode right fucking now for the Jets. And if they don't make a substantial push, his ass is gone. Don't get it twisted. Everyone else, there can be excuses to be made because of roster de-evolution, if you will. Like for the Cowboys, for instance, with some of the guys that they part. Not to say that Mike McCarthy still can't lose his job, but I just mean in terms of not just the pressure to win, to keep your job, but the pressure to live up to expectation. Because we don't predict that the Cowboys are going to be contending for a Super Bowl this year. We do predict that the Jets have the capability of doing so, though. We do have that for the Philadelphia Eagles, for instance. The Bears, for instance, with Matt Eberflus, yeah, he's incompetent. Like I said, he's a con artist. The dude's a fucking puppet if I've ever seen one, But I don't think that, even with all that being said, the expectations are through the fucking roof. Some people are hyping up the Bears and saying they could be a Super Bowl contenders. I think those guys are cracked out of their fucking minds. But I will say that a lot of these guys could be gone if things go south. That's for damn sure. But just in terms of all the absolute like shit-eating legacy that you'll have to leave behind. If there's a award for who that could potentially go to the most after this season, it could be Rob Sala if he doesn't get it done. I'm not saying he's going to fail to get it done. I got a lot of high expectations for this Jets team because they're going to be healthy and so on and so forth. But man, he's got to get it done. It's now or never.
For me, obviously, yes, I do see Widow's opportunity for each of these coaches to possibly be fired or be dismissed from their potential positions. I think that Dayball is the safest just because of the genius that he possesses. To Jeff's comment earlier, how many more times is Eberflus going to keep getting these opportunities just because of a new QB or a roster move? I guess as long as Ryan Poles is still in control. That's the way that I view that. Sirianni and the whole friction between him and Jalen Hurts is just a whole interesting concept within itself. Because Sirianni isn't doing anything bad outside of showing it in incapability of being able to hire a OC or a DC to be sufficient enough below him. That's where his flaws really come into place. Other than that, Sirianni has been keeping this team afloat himself for the most part. So I'll cut that some slack. I know there's some friction between him and Hurts. That's just two alphas being in the building. Eventually, Sirianni will have to move on. Salah's the biggest one for damn sure. Salah and McCarthy should be 1-1, right neck and neck. To your point, got to make the playoffs to secure the Jets. To Dallas's point, though, with McCarthy, I think that they're just about to clean house with everything. I think Jerry knows he's gone soon, so that's my breakdown with that. Who's on the hot seat the most? Anything to do with the New York media right now?
Yeah, dude. Oh god,
Salah not being able to answer how the disciplinary actions around Aaron Rodgers were handled during the trip to Egypt was absolutely fucking preposterous to me. I couldn't believe that.
It's like, oh god,
and then Hassan Reddick not clocking in to work. I mean,
it's not off to the most ideal start.
No, it's actually off to a really fucking shitty start. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Rumboyz After Dark. All right, we have covered all the latest and greatest headlines throughout the NFL and fantasy football. Hopefully, the information we provided gives you a better look into your fantasy football season and how you make picks into your betting season as you get ready to move forward and make picks. I know a lot of you are looking for. Yes, betting season is definitely underway. Shout out to those who've earned money a couple of nights. I know a couple of you have already hit me up asking, Robbie, what should I do for this game? And you're asking for preseason bets. We've already kind of gotten off to a good start for a couple of you guys, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys for hitting us up in the DMs. And those of you that choose a tip and Cashapp whenever you ask for those bets too, thank you. Greatly appreciate that. Always tip your handicapper. Like, we're going to help you win. Other than that, you see where you can follow us. It's on the screen. It's been on the screen the whole time. Make sure you guys give us a follow. We greatly appreciate it. Look out for more content coming from all of our collective networks and programs and channels. I will be live tomorrow. Commanders, Jets. We've touched on both these teams a little bit tonight. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow we give you some action. All right. Look forward to that tomorrow morning, bright and early. We'll be getting that pop in noon Eastern. I greatly appreciate everyone for joining. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Definitely subscribe and definitely keep running up the views. I want to take this. Yeah. And I want to give every contributor that works here a fucking silver play button when we hit that 1 million followers, that 1 million subscribers. So keep running it up. Keep sharing the content. I want to be able to have a silver play button in the background of everyone's backdrop here eventually. So those are the rules. That's YouTube's rules. That's not my rules. They give every single contributor of the channel a fucking plaque. So let's run it up. Let's get it. I want to give these guys an award because they fucking deserve it. And you guys deserve it as well. You're a part of this community. So it's a win-win for you. Other than
Thank
that,
you.
cheers to me.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Other than that, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboys and girls, what it do. Check out the whole crew on their respective channels. Their schedules will be posted on their channels and their social media. We're out of here. Dilly.
Peace.